David, it's good to see you, man.
Brandon, it's good to see you too. I've seen a lot of pictures of you holding up comic books, reading them with the characters that play these comics, and I am disappointed that we're not in a room together with some kind of, Red Guardian or Creature Commando comic being held up.
Don't you worry. December of 2024, I will be there and I will have my comic book ready for you.
All right, good.
Let's talk about Gran Turismo, though, okay?
Yeah.
I love it. Dude, the movie's a ton of fun. Your character, Jack, I thought there was a really funny moment early in the film where he has to do promo material in a helicopter, and he's like, this is ridiculous. This would never happen. So I want to know, what is the most ridiculous thing you've ever been asked to do to promote a movie?
To promote a movie? Oh, Jesus. Oh, I'll tell you what, they did want to do season 2, I think it was, of Stranger Things. They did want us to they wanted us to ride on a TMZ type bus it was like a Stranger Things fan bus, and get on the bus, stop traffic, get on the bus, drive up, and everybody gets off the bus with them and stuff. And we did it for a couple minutes, and it became very, as the kids say, cringy very quickly. So,
hey, you made it through, though. You made it through.
Yeah.
So another thing, your character, Jack, this is a guy who has kind of given up on a dream, and now he's got a bit of a second shot at it through Jann. I'd love to hear, for you, as on your journey as an actor, what would you say has there been a moment where you're like, man, I got to get through this, and how did you do it? Whereas your character, Jack, might have had that and given up on his dream. Yeah,
I mean, initially when I was in New York, one of my breaks was when I was 26, I think. I was on a Broadway show, one of my first leads in a Broadway show, big romantic lead. And, it was back when the New York Times Review would come out the morning after the opening at 5 a.m. And I rushed out to get it. And I remember Ben Brantley was chief critic of the New York Times, 5 a.m. And the play is brilliant. It's incredible Tom Stopper play. Everyone is great. The only weak link is David Harbour, who's not a good actor. But my first thing. And I was like, wow. And I remember being so just the pit of my stomach hit the floor. And I did have this moment where I thought, well, even if you guys don't like me, you're going to have to get used to me because I'm sticking around. And that's the feeling, I think, that separates Jann from Jack. Jack's the guy who really reads that review and really takes it, and Jann's the guy who goes, well, I'm getting back in the car. And there's two types of people sort of in the world. And but it is in those moments of real tragedy where it really hurts, where you got to figure out who you are.
Dude, I actually was not familiar with the full story before I watched the movie, and this story hits, man. Gran Turismo really, it comes with some weight. I appreciated that about this film. Yeah,
it's almost like a perfect 3-act structure, and the fact that it's a real story is crazy because you almost think we add that thing in the middle that's so horrible just to give it weight, but it's actually all of it's true, which is wild.
Yeah. Throughout the film, I'm assuming this is one of the real details about, what happened in real life, but your character keeps a Walkman on him and he's got music that it's got did you listen to anything on set, and do you have anything like that you do to kind of get yourself ready when you're going through these big moments on set?
I used to do music. When I would do plays, I would have a theme for each character, and I would, listen to this song over and over again as I would get into something. But as the years go by, I find that, my process gets more, it's better to do things in silence because you might need to do it in real time, and you can't have something to rely on like that. But I would he listens to Black Sabbath, and I would listen to Black Sabbath. And in fact, the prop guys were so good on this, they got me a walking Walkman, and I said, get me a Black Sabbath digital tape, and they got me Black Sabbath's first album on digital tape, and I would just listen to it in real time on set. I love that album, so that was an addition of me and Neil's.
Did you? I hope you kept it. I hope you kept it after the movie. That's awesome.
Didn't. I gotta call him.
That's awesome, dude. Well, listen, I gotta let you go to the next one. It's always great to see you, man. I can't wait to talk to you again. I really enjoyed the film, and congratulations.
Terrific. Thanks, pal.
Archie, Jann, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you both. I thought the movie was awesome, and it's a crazy story. So thank you for talking with me about it.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, I'm going to come to you with the first question. I mean, you're the man this Gran Turismo movie is all about, so I would love to hear, if we go back to the beginning when you were pouring hours and hours into a simulator, what would your younger self think of a moment like this right now?
Not believable. When I first bought my first car in Gran Turismo 1 when I was 8, it was a pink or lilac Mitsubishi 3000 GT on Gran Turismo 1. If I would have spoken to that kid back then and say, okay, in 11 years' time, you're going to use this game when it's Gran Turismo 5, and you're going to become a racing driver after this competition. I'd be like, no way.
And then they're going to make a film about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's even more extreme. It's like, it's not even in the psyche. It's crazy.
So
nice. That's unbelievable. And Archie, I mean, to have to play a real person while that real person is on set, what's that experience like? Did you learn anything about Jann? Did he have tips on how to be him?
Yeah, I mean, it was incredibly undaunting, to be honest, because Jann is just so lovely. We were very clear from the offset that I wasn't trying to do an impression of Jann. I was trying to capture his spirit and his essence. I was really wanting to just get as much as I can from his story and embed that in the character. So you have this creative freedom where you are, creating a character whilst also just layering in as many of the facts. And Jann was just so open and just so honest and just, told me as much as he could about his life. And I just tried to layer that in where I could.
And I know Jann did a lot of the stunt driving in this. Did you get behind the wheel at all? Did you get to do any crazy racetrack moments in a car?
I was in the car much more than I would love. I was in the car. Every scene that you see me in the car, I am in the car racing at full speed. I'm vomiting. It was boiling hot. It was truly the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. But Neil Blomkamp was so sure that we couldn't cheat any of that in CGI. He was like, all of that stuff that you see on your face, the way that it moves your skin, the way that it moves, all of that stuff, none of that stuff can be cheated. And having watched it now, I think he was right.
Yeah, and again, going from hundreds of hours in the simulator in Gran Turismo to that first time you got behind the wheel of a race car, I imagine there's something that just stands out as like the most unexpected moment when you were like, wow, this is the real thing. What was it like? What stands out to you when you think about that moment as, wow, this is an unexpected detail that I guess I couldn't have predicted?
Well, it was more how normal it felt, how the car would react to my inputs through the throttle, the brake, pitching, and you're in the car. The way the car would go in transition from understeer to oversteer. If you lift off at the wrong point, the car would oversteer the same as it would in the game. And then what was difficult was to now tune this third sensation I had, which is the vibration and the feeling you get through the seat and through your back. Because at home on the simulator you have your eyes and your hands, but then the third sensation of the feeling. And it's tuning that with these other two elements, which took time. That was the most difficult part.
Wow. Being the son of a professional athlete and then becoming a professional athlete yourself is quite the bloodline you guys are building there. I love when you have a dad who has accomplished so much and lived out his dream. As a kid, does that make it feel more daunting to like live up to like a parent's expectation, or does that kind of feel like it opens up doors to pursue something that you really want because you've seen your dad do it before you?
The second option, really. I guess when I was a teenager, when I was trying to become a footballer, because the racing thing the light dimmed because the reality hits of understanding a bit more about motorsports and the complexities of getting into it. So I tried to become a footballer. I was very bad at it. I don't have the brain for that. It's not instant. There's no instinct with me with that. But my dad always told me and my brother from a very young age, 8, 9, 10, all the time, do something in life which brings you purpose and passion and that you enjoy doing. he played football for 13 years as a professional, kicking a ball around, and was paid for it. So I had that. So when I knew I had the concept of a job when I was 11 of being a racing driver, I was like, okay, I want to do that. And I'm going to keep this option open for as long as I can. And if the opportunity came about, I will be all in. And it, fate, being at the right place at the right time, happened.
That's pretty incredible, guys. And my last question for you on my way out, if you could live out the story of any other video game or simulator, what character in a video game or what video game have you played that you think would be pretty exciting or exhilarating to experience?
God, I'd be Denzel Washington in The Sims Celebrity. I think that he'd probably be a safe pick. I don't know. I'm not gonna go to war in Call of Duty or something. What am I gonna say?
Who knows? Yeah, the video game world's are pretty terrifying.
I would be Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid.
There you go. That's the answer right there. Hey guys, thank you so much. Congratulations. The movie's awesome. You guys,
thanks, man.
You guys were great in it. So thank you so much for the time and enjoy the ride.